The arcade is a business that I have made a lot of videos on when it comes to GTA, mainly because it has so many different aspects of making money. You have the passive income on the main floor, which doesn't give you much, but it is still free income. And then you also have the master control terminal, and you have the heist being the Diamond Casino heist. The casino really is a jack-of-all-trades property. However, the only problem with the heist is that you need two people to perform it. So if you have a friend and they want to do the heist with you, it's great. But if you don't, then I can't really recommend to worry all too much about the heist. A video I've not done is specifically focusing on the Master Control Terminal. So that's exactly what today's video is going to focus on. How to maximize your earnings and potential income when it has to do with this piece of technology. Let's start off with property location. Personally, I don't think the location really matters. There's going to be people that disagree with my take in the comments, but if you use the fast traveling method, which I'll showcase in just a moment, where you go doesn't really make much of a difference. It really depends on if you plan on doing the heist or not. For example, if you plan on starting the Diamond Casino heist with a friend and you own a Grapeseed arcade or something all the way in Paleto Bay, it is going to take you multiple times longer to drive all the way over to the city to do the missions, all the setups, and then drive back to your arcade rather than having your arcade in the city. So it is very important on where you have your arcade if you're going to focus on the heists. However, if you're just going to have the arcade to focus on getting the passive income from your arcade machines and using the Master Control Terminal, then in my opinion, location doesn't matter. If you care a lot about location, I would recommend to buy the arcade closest to your properties. For example, you can see the one I own is right here, and then all my other businesses, being my office building, being my nightclub, all of them are right next to each other. The chop shop is pretty close. Even my auto shop is very close. So all my businesses are quite near each other. That's why I have the arcade smack dab in the middle. But, as I said, location doesn't really matter, because if you scroll over the preferences and you scroll until you find your arcade, let's say I've just finished a payphone hit, and for some reason I'm stranded, like, I don't know, on the top of Mount Chiliad. Well, that's fine, because if I go to online, I find a new session. As long as my spawn location is set to the arcade, the game is going to spawn me directly inside of it. And you can see that happening right now. It's been, what, about 10 seconds since I pressed invite-only session. We are already inside of arcade. That is how fast you can fast travel across the map. As long as you don't have a mission ongoing, it won't do anything. You'll just be able to go right into your arcade, you can grab your passive income, and you can hop inside the terminal command center. So what exactly does the Master Control Terminal allow me to do that I normally couldn't, and how does it save time? Well, in front of you, we can see all my different businesses. I have the nightclub, bunker, Coke Lockup, all the motorcycle club businesses, vehicle cargo, special cargo, and air freight cargo. The only businesses that are not here are the new ones, like the Acid Lab and Chop Shop. Thankfully, the Acid Lab is very easy. You just call Mutt on the phone and you can order your supplies there. And the Chop Shop is a quick stop over to do tow truck missions anyway, so you don't need this portal for the Chop Shop. Because of that, all the businesses we have here are the ones you're going to need to use. Let's say, for example, the nightclub. If you are registered as either a CEO or a motorcycle club president, you can enter the nightclub page. And let's say, for example, I want to raise my popularity. Right now, it is only at about 60%. I want to make it higher. Well, we make our way over to Resident DJ, and we can rebook my DJ. And because I'm not inside of the nightclub, it's not going to make me go through a cutscene back and forth to change out the DJs. So now we can see that my nightclub popularity is about 90% full. And if I did one more swap, it would be completely full. This is a super easy way to make sure your nightclub popularity is maxed without ever having to take one step inside the business. This saves you time. We can also see that my warehouse is kind of bugged right now and only South American imports are being sourced, but we can fix that. Going to warehouse management, all we need to do is click on each guy, go to organic produce, and then click back on the main good. We go to organic produce, then cargo and shipments. This basically resets all of your technicians, which means if they're not sourcing goods for you, now they should be. So there you go. We've just swapped them back and forth, and boom. Now we should be making money from all of our nightclub ways. So that right there already saved me probably a couple minutes going over to my nightclub, kicking somebody out with Marcel, then making sure my goods are being sourced. Then let's say I want to go to gun running and I want to mess with my bunker. Well, don't worry, we can do all that right here. I can purchase supplies for $45,000, and I can go over to sell stock, and I can sell all of my products right now if I want to for $1,050,000. I can go to research and I can do all my research here. Basically, the way the control terminal works is you are able to access all of the websites that are inside of each individual business, but you don't actually need to leave a single property to do this. You just do it all from your arcade. The next businesses you are able to mess with are the Motorcycle Club products. You've got the Coke Lockup, Math Lab, Weed Farm, Counterfeit Cash Factory, and the Document Forgery Office. All of these businesses, just like the previous ones we've talked about, are able to be controlled through one single terminal. This is great for people that do want to run multiple different motorcycle businesses without having to go to each and every single one to resupply the businesses. While I personally don't love the Motorcycle Lockup because of the fact that, well, they usually get raided and they take a lot of time to do the sale missions, I've still made a lot of money with them. I mean, my Coke Lockup I've made 19 million from, and it's an easy 525,000 if I wanted to sell it right now. And my Math Lab, I can very easily access the website, go over to resupply, and purchase some supplies right now. I've already made 11 million with this business, so even though I don't think that these are the best ways to make money, if you do want to still use the Motorcycle Club properties, you can very easily run all of them inside of your arcade, which is really, really nice. You can see I'm doing all that right now, purchasing all my stuff. You can also do all the upgrades here as well. I already own all the upgrades for my my Counterfeit Cash, but I'm pretty sure, for example, my Coke Lockup, if we make our way into it, I can purchase the security upgrade, which is actually probably a good idea. So there you go. Now we have the security upgrade purchased. So that's, again, super, super easy and nice to use. Then we arrive to the CEO style businesses: vehicle cargo, special cargo, and air freight cargo. Vehicle cargo is very easy to use inside of the arcade. Instead of having to go in your office building, go all the way up inside the elevator, walk over to the computer, then sign in, you can just enter the arcade and source a vehicle right here. Super, super easy to do. Definitely saves you time, especially because you can have your own personal vehicle right inside the garage next to you. The special cargo is similar. You can either source or sell cargo here. That's actually really nice. Selling cargo here is great because you don't have to make your way all the way over to whatever warehouse you want to sell. You can just select each one right here. Very, very easy. But obviously, you're still going to have to make your way over to the warehouse anyway to grab the vehicle in the sale mission. When it comes to sourcing cargo, it brings you to the main page that you'd find in your CEO building, so you can do all the sourcing normally here as well. Honestly, when it comes to special cargo, it really doesn't matter where you source. You can either TP right inside of your office building if you set your spawn location there, or you can do it inside the arcade. I don't really think that one makes too much of a difference. The final business, though, that does make a pretty big difference is air freight cargo. Let's say that you've decided to buy the hangar all the way down in the bottom of Los Santos' airport, LSIA. Well, it's actually a lot more efficient to start your air freight cargo right inside of the arcade. Funny enough, if you actually own an arcade that is more towards Grapeseed, you can do the air freight cargo and it'll be way faster than even your Fort Zancudo base, because a lot of the missions spawn more towards Sandy Shores. So you can literally start your air freight cargo right here and then just head over to Sandy and you'll be able to do your missions, which is kind of funny, especially because it's one of the cheaper arcades. So if you actually do plan on doing a lot of air cargo, that is one little tip that might help you out. Overall, I actually really, really like the arcade, and I would say it's probably one of the most important purchases you can make in the game if you want to save time. Imagine how long it would take me to go from each business, right? Let's pretend I make my way to the bunker, I resupply the business, then I say, okay, well, I've just done my bunker, now I'm going to head all the way over to my nightclub so that I can make sure that everything's working here. So that's probably just alone there a 2-3 minute trip just between my bunker and the nightclub. Then I'm going to make my way to my Motorcycle Club businesses, and I have to go to my Coke Lockup, which is all the way over here, then my Counterfeit Cash, which is over here, and my Math Lab over here, and then I have to make my way to the Weed Lab, which is over here. That alone's probably going to take me 5 to 10 minutes just to drive to each one of those properties, then resupply them. While I'm doing that, I have to be worried that I'm not going to get raided. Obviously, supplying inside the arcade saves you a lot of time from being raided, because all you need to do is enter as a Motorcycle Club president really quickly, order your supplies, and then leave the page. So at the end of the day, I would highly recommend to own an arcade. It saves you hours and hours hours of time if you add all of it up compared to driving to each business and making sure everything is set up properly. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments down below, but this is mainly just a guide on how to use the Master Control Terminal. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.